Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name's Jim. You can find us at Apple Music, our Facebook page, our website, babyboomertales.com, and wherever fine podcasts are served. Well, it's April Fool's Day. The origin of such a weird day started in 1582. France switched to the Gregorian calendar from the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar celebrated the new year around the spring equinox, where the Gregorian calendar celebrates on January 1st. So the poor people that didn't get the memo about the calendar change celebrated like it was the new year. They were ringing in Old Lang Syne, and the people laughed and made fun of them and called them fools. And April Fools was born. You ever watch the TV show Jeopardy? It's a game show that they give you answers and you're supposed to give the question. It's pretty much a trivia show how smart you are. And so many people are so smart on that show. I'm amazed at the stuff they know. Well, once in a while, on their final Jeopardy, they have single Jeopardy, double Jeopardy, and final Jeopardy. And the final Jeopardy, you can bet as much money as you've accumulated during the show and see who wins. And once in a while, there's a question that comes by that all three contestants, no matter how smart they seem to be, they miss. And for some reason, once in a great while, when all three miss, I get it. I answered it correctly. I've learned to say it out loud just in case my wife is walking by or watching with me. Then I can, do the happy dance. Well, I wondered how this could have happened because I'm of average intelligence. Actually, I did a podcast once about my IQ score when I was in high school. And so I know that I am no dummy, even though I had a podcast called that once about me and my little marionette guy. But I am full of useless trivia. A bunch of this comes from doing this podcast. So I'm just going to give you a few little examples of why I am so smart. Mars is not round. It's shaped more like a rugby ball. A rugby ball is shaped kind of like a hybrid of a volleyball and a football. Okay? So Mars is the only planet in our solar system that is not round. Polar bears, their skin is black. Amazing. A chicken lived 18 months once without a head. Dead skin cells are the main ingredient in household dust. Ew. The average lifespan of a Major League Baseball, just the ball, is 7 pitches. Speaking of baseball, all Major League Baseball umpires must wear black underwear on the job. That's just in case their pants split. You don't want to show your whitey-tighties. Ostriches stick their head in the sand to look for water. And finally, on this one, the electric chair was invented by da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, a dentist. A couple weeks ago, we had a little song about the dentist. The Munchies put it on for us. Do you remember that one? Now for the top 10 of 1971. That is the top 10 popular songs for the year 1971. Number 10, Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me. The Temptations. Number 9, One Less Bell to Answer, The Fifth Dimension. Number 8, Go Away, Little Girl, Donny Osmond. Number 7, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, The Bee Gees. Number 6, My Sweet Lord, Isn't It a Pity? George Harrison. Number 5, Indian Reservation, The Lament of the Cherokee Reservation Indian by Paul Revere and the Raiders. Number 4, Maggie May, Reason to Believe, Rod Stewart. Number 3, It's Too Late, I Feel the Earth Move, Carole King. Number 2, Joy to the World, Three Dog Night. And the number 1 song for the year 1971, Knock 3 Times, Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. There are 3 such songs that they listed the A and the B side. I'm not sure why that is. There were 2 different songs that they listed together as the song in that place. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Now for the special in front of the TV.
I just got done watching this show. It was on Netflix. It was called The Crown. It was in 6 parts. It started in 2016 and finally ended in 2023. It covered 6 decades of the royal family in England. Now, I didn't think I'd like this show, but my wife mentioned that friends of ours were watching it, and she'd watched the first episode, and I just blurted out, I'd like to watch that. I'm kind of a history buff, pretty much. I mean, you know. It basically starts in 1947 with Queen Elizabeth. She was Princess Elizabeth then, but Queen Elizabeth II, and runs right up to 2005. Just about 60 years there. Every 2 seasons, they would change the actors, all the main characters, the prime ministers of England, the king, the queen. The actors actually changed. At first, when they did that, I didn't think I'd like that. I didn't know why the magic of Hollywood couldn't make them look older. But oddly enough, for me, it worked perfectly. It really did. I never really understood the British too much. I know they call things different, they spell things different. I didn't understand the monarchy or any of that stuff, but I know that my mother's side of the family are English. So I always wondered about them, and I always thought the only thing I liked about the English was the Beatles and Twiggy. But this was fascinating to me. It was totally spellbinding. I thought it was very, very well done. One of the best things I'd seen on TV in a very long time. Now, I do have a soft spot in my heart for the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, all that, because I get a lot of people listening to this podcast from those countries. I would highly recommend watching The Crown. I'm doing this podcast on February 16th, and I know that it's being released on April 1st, April Fool's Day, and all that. And I need to do that because I like to have 3 to 5 or 6 episodes sandbagged, so in case something comes up in my life, and it did one time. Actually 2 times. Once this last winter when we were stranded in Colorado, and the other time is my wife ended up in the hospital for a while, and I didn't have to worry about doing the podcast because they were already published and scheduled to go out on certain dates. Well, last night was very, very cold. The wind chill was way below 0, and it had been a very warm winter, and this is the coldest spell we'd had all winter, really. And it was just freezing. Well, I like to sleep where it's cold in my room, and I shut all the vents, the heater vents off in my bedroom, and I actually put pillows over them. And usually I sleep with a fan on just to help cool it down even more. I turn the heat down in the house so the house is cool. Well, last night it was just plumb cold. I actually was cold. I have all kinds of blankets on me, which comes from when I was about 21 living at the Jap camp. I've spoken about the Jap camp before. A little log cabin with a blanket on the door, a piece of plastic for the window, a wood cook stove that smoked when it was going, and a dirt floor. And I spent one miserable winter there. And if it wasn't for about three dog night, sleeping on me, I may have frozen to death. Well, it kind of reminded me of the Jap camp last night, just how cold it was in my room. Now, it was nothing like 40 below zero in my room, like it was in that little cabin. It was nothing like that. But I was raised in the Colorado mountains, and my mother liked to open the windows at night. Winter and summer, I think. Maybe not if it was 40 below, though. Miss you, Mom. You made me pretty tough there. I sure am glad it's going to be spring. And by the time this is released, it will be spring all over. Time slips by in a blink of an eye. So be brave, be generous, and always, always be kind every chance you get. My plan is to be back next Wednesday. I'm planning on that too. Have a great week. Peace out.